Hello and welcome to another edition of After the Whistle, May 31st, the last day of May. Time flies, and it's three of us once again. Stevie is back to join us. Todd is here. Hope y'all enjoyed your 3-day weekend. I know I did. Funny thing, I was watching a bunch of movies, and you watch a movie, you start looking at the little details. For instance, Menace to Society. The car ride on the mission.
Okay.
Isn't it ironic that they're about to go get payback while they're listening to Al Green, Love and Happiness?
That's amazing.
Right? You're like, these dudes about to go just like shoot somebody in their head, kill two people, yet they just like calmly listen to Al Green.
It's kind of like the shock value of that scene, kind of like the new generation now picking like retro R&B, like beats and just talking about all type of violence on them. So it's kind of similar. It's a shock value thing. I think it was
the Hugh brothers set the tone.
Yeah, that was it. And then The Godfather, The Godfather Part 2, the scene where him and the wife were having the dialogue and she tells him she had an abortion. And he went crazy on her, but she told her she didn't want to have his baby. He's a murderer, killer. Like, lady, you already had two. That's one. It's just like,
she didn't want to bring no more in the world, man.
And it was just like, in part one, he kind of told you what his family is about. And now you just like acting like you didn't think it.
She was trying to change him.
Right. So it's kind of like being naive to the situation, like, I can change him and blah, blah. It's just like,
You know what I was watching? I was watching RoboCop 1 and 2.
Okay.
They couldn't show that movie today whatsoever.
No.
At all. DeAndre was like, that movie should have no rating at all.
It's like they used like clay animations. They did?
They used animal guts and all that stuff. Like, it just looked more realistic. Granted, it was very graphic, but we need something like that now.
I saw Fast and the Furious 10.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Aquaman's in it. That was unexpected.
It was good?
Yeah, it was actually pretty good. There's gonna be an 11, obviously. Yeah.
I think this one is gonna be 3 parts.
But see, Vin Diesel and Rock, they don't like each other. So what they did is, at the end of the movie, they show what's gonna happen in the next. So The Rock is gonna have his own with what's it, Statham?
Yeah.
They're gonna Hobbs and Shaw, whatever, Hobbs and Shaw, whatever. That part, they're gonna be a part 2 to that, and it's gonna be a spin-off of the Fast and Furious.
Yeah, Ludacris said it best. They keep making these movies because they be generating billions.
Oh,
the
yeah,
studio's
big money.
Just like,
Because it's international. You know what I'm saying?
And you need something that's kind of over the top. We don't really have many like franchises anymore that will kind of just like something just go watch and see and be entertained and not care about it being so real.
It's worldwide too. Like, I don't even think they filmed in the United States. Like, everywhere that they filmed was somewhere, like Italy. They was in Rome. They was in Brazil. They was in...
I think the U.S. kind of dried up in regards to like Fast and Furious.
Like,
Kind of like, we'll watch it, but like...
When they gonna race that?
Serious? The other
Grand Canyon?
Like, yeah. Like, they want Fast and Furious 15, like...
Definitely. Man, it was Fast and Furious for the Celtics Monday night.
Oh,
Lord, have mercy.
Goodness.
Got everybody excited. All for them to come lay an egg, and then Tatum, what did he get injured? 5 minutes into the game?
Not even.
20 seconds into the game?
20 seconds.
It's like some bad omen happening or something like that.
I knew it was over.
Me too.
When he didn't even go get taped or retaped. I'm looking at him like, bro, you serious? You're going to play a full game on a tender ankle without trying to stop the
I was expected a timeout and to see him running back to the locker room to get, like you said, retaped something, a shot,
even get tape over your shoe, like something just for that time being, and then at halftime get iced, retape. But it was just like, honestly, they was Cancooning.
Bruh.
And they couldn't make a shot either.
Listen, there was like, I think it was like 10 for like 78 or something, the last 2 games of 3 in the 3-point line?
Well, this last game, they shot half their shots from the 3. They went 32 for 82 for the game and went 9 for 42. They didn't want to win the game.
And I always say,
die by the 3.
Yeah, I always say when you don't nip the bad habits early on, it's just gonna catch up to you, and that's what happened to them. Every time they don't make 3, they don't play defense. They got cooked by Caleb Martin.
Yeah, Caleb.
I mean, no disrespect to Caleb Martin, but the dude cooked them all whole series.
The whole series.
And he's like the fourth or fifth option best player on that team.
But you know what I'd say? The better team won the series. The most
Yeah,
talented
but you know
team
what
did
it
not.
was? Know what to me what it was? The big difference was coaching. Spo.
Nah,
It was to me, it was coaching.
Yeah.
You got this rookie coach. Don't get me wrong, Joe's really good. Joe's a good coach, but he's going against Spo. Spo got championships. He got experience. He got Pat Riley behind him. He got Lonzo Mourning behind him.
Once again, that's why I said last week, the better franchise won too. Like
And I
as a
don't-
whole,
Oh, yeah,
their
yeah,
culture
yeah.
is just different.
See, I'm
It's
gonna
just
dap you
different.
on that.
I
Yo,
only wrote for 2 teams.
I'm a Celtics fan. You guys see?
Yeah, he's diehard too.
But listen, that Heat culture is
is
just
different.
something different.
But here's my thing with this whole thing. Like, yeah, coaching would play a part in it, but when the other team just plays harder and smarter than you, at some point that falls on the players because these guys, from game one, it was just like they just was like they were playing like the finals isn't in the next round. Like the finals wasn't on the line. The Heat for all 7 games, even
Yeah,
the
you
games they
don't
got
lose
blown
3
out, they were playing like
in a row.
the finals was on the line. And then these guys, it was just like lackadaisical. Then when they won the 3 games in a row, it was just like, well, where's this team been? So and then with the coaching it's just like some of the fundamental things like strategy wise, timeout wise, some of the certain stuff they did.
And reflecting
he was
too.
in over his head.
Reflecting, I knew they was gonna have a hangover. They were celebrating that Game 6 win like they won the championship or like they going to the finals already. I'm like, why are they celebrating so hard? Like, yo, they still got one more at home. So I think they had that hangover. That energy. They wasted it. After Game 6.
I mean, I applaud this region for having this crazy, false, Rudy-esque hope that they was going to win 4 games in a row. It's a 2-week series, bro. They played basketball for 2 weeks straight in one series. I knew for a fact they wasn't winning 4 games in a row. Like this,
It's very hard to
But
do. Nobody's ever done it.
Yeah, they did themselves no favors at all. I mean, Brown had 8 turnovers in that game. There's more questions about him going into this offseason. I mean, man, it's going to be a long
We're gonna talk about
season.
that, right?
Yeah, it's going to be a long
Okay.
offseason.
they couldn't even get up and down the floor. He had 17 fast breaks to their 8 that game. Celtics only scored 15 points in the first quarter and 18 in the second. I mean, the fourth. Like it was just bad. They didn't come to play. They didn't even care
Heat
about
wanted
making
it
logical
more.
plays. I mean, that's an
They
obvious.
got
The Heat
killed
wanted him more.
by Caleb Martin all series. That's
Right, and
you don't deserve to win.
Bam didn't even play well. I don't even think
No, Bam was just like we were just
Did
wondering.
Bam score 20 at all?
Probably
Maybe once.
I don't know. But
I
he
think
had
once.
I think he had like 10 and 12 that game.
But it was like Bam was just like he was just there on the floor.
Exactly.
But once again, the Celtics are super young, and I just feel like they called the Heat bluff, and the Heat showed them that don't play with us, and they're
Point.
1 more year behind. And remember, they had no Gallinari. They had some injuries, so like if they had Gallinari, I think it would.
We didn't have Gallinari all year.
Listen, man.
Yeah, my point is though, like that's a big missing piece in the playoffs.
I
when
agree.
when you have to game plan for these guys,
I
the guys
agree,
on the
'cause
bench can't
Gully
get you a bucket.
Right. But we need to score.
gosh.
Gully will get you that bucket.
He's like a 6'10",
yeah.
3 that can do a little bit of
I
everything.
agree with
so,
you.
like,
I agree with you on that.
So I feel like if he comes back next season, that missing piece will help.
I'm just not getting over this.
I just
Caleb Martin
don't.
thing.
I just don't
First
like.
of all, stop disrespecting Caleb Martin.
We went from 9.6 points per game in the regular season.
Yeah, it happens, bro.
Bruh.
But like, why you?
Listen,
Yo,
look,
but he
no,
was hitting
look,
tough
so-
shots
look,
too.
look,
It's not like he was. He was hitting tough shots.
This is
Mo.
what
He's not a bum.
this is what annoys me. 11 points round 1, 10 points round 2, 20 points round 3.
Yeah.
And it was just like shooting. He was like shooting 30% everywhere, and it was just like, bruh.
But most of his shots were open, so you can't get mad.
Wide
So how
open.
mad can you get at a pro for
Oh,
making
my
open
God.
shots? Like,
Right. So that comes down to coaching. That's the coaching scheme.
At what point are you gonna try to play defense on the dude after he doesn't hit like 3 threes in a row? At what point you'll be like, maybe I should put a hand in his
and
face.
that's what I mean. Like the coaching part, I agree to a certain extent because like they're all pros and they're grown. Ain't no reason why you need to shoot almost 50 threes. Like,
Yeah.
Like you're gonna keep missing this many shots, and you're not gonna think, you know what? Let's get a layup. We're good at everything on the court, but we're shooting ourselves in the foot trying to play like Golden State. That is the only team that can play that way. And you see where they're at. They have the playoffs too, because they gotta figure out how to game plan a little better and fix
Right.
their offense.
I mean,
Definitely.
in a couple of the games that we lost, we was beating them in paint points too.
No. This is what I
So I
noticed.
don't. It's just.
This is what I noticed. The first 2 home games when they started playing good basketball and they got themselves a double-digit lead. It was like once they got the double-digit lead, they went back to like,
Yeah.
all right, we just go.
They relax.
We're gonna be too cool again.
They put the foot on the neck.
Yeah, that was
as they're supposed to.
And then your role players rely too heavily on your 2 stars. And when things aren't going, these guys really can't go in the heat. Yeah, they need Jimmy, but there's some games where Jimmy needs them, and they help each other out.
And they perform when Jimmy's on the bench. Did you notice that?
Yep.
When Jimmy's on the bench, I feel like they're a better team sometimes. To be honest, they're a better team.
Yeah.
But Jimmy, you could put Jimmy on any team, and Jimmy's gonna make them
Because he's
better.
old school basketball. That's why. And they try to make him a
gods.
cancer because they're trying to push this soft agenda. And it's like, nah, bro. Unfortunately, when it comes to playoff time and winning championships, only dogs are allowed.
Yeah, and he's a
That regular
dog.
season, you can put poodles over there.
The highlight for Jimmy, the best highlight was when he was face to face with Grant Williams and they was jarring at each other. I was like,
Williams
yo.
was the only one that was tough enough to.
It reminded me, like you said, of old school. I said, oh, wow. Like, I got a feeling like, it reminded me like when I was a kid. I was like 12, 13 watching that playoff basketball.
I'm not going to lie. It looked cool, but I didn't see
You knew nobody was
It was one of them things that's like, Jimmy, are you really talking to him?
Hey, man. Hey.
No disrespect to Grant, but like,
Grant ain't no punk, though.
Nah, but totem pole.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah,
Jimmy,
yeah,
I would have walked right by you, bro.
Hey, man.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Heat to this is the
Who are you?
seven
He engages
finals.
everybody though, so.
This is 7 finals appearances since like 2006. All right, Celtics, they got a lot of questions coming up this offseason. You got guys that up for extensions. You got don't know if you're bringing this core back or what changes you need to
wait
make.
to hear Todd on
but
this
you
one.
might. I think there's some changes going to be made. They need to make some changes because this core's been together for a while, and now you're just like, all right, how many times are we just going to repeat the same thing over and over again? I mean, we saw this happen with the Raptors a few years ago. It was a LeBron factor too, but it was just like they just kept, it was just like the same thing, and then they had to make a change. That happened, and it seems like, Brown is due for an extension. Some of those other guys, we don't know how well if they're gonna come back or not. Hey, man, if you're gonna make a move that makes sense. Don't just make a move just to make a move. They better think wisely and bring somebody in that can just help them get over the hump.
Yeah, I was talking to my boy Cam. Shout out to Cam Twist. He had a son.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
His dad, dad works for the Celtics and all that.
Yeah.
Papa Twist. We was talking about it. He was just basically saying just focusing on extending Brown, just because you don't really know what you're gonna get, and you're probably not gonna get the value for Brown that team will get for him.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things. But I don't like the tug of war. I feel it's like a mental tug of war with the team on who the leader is. I get it. Brown's more aggressive. Tatum's a finesse guy, but you're not 6'10", 6'11".
And
So it's just,
that game should have told you who the leader is.
yeah, so it's just one of them things that, like, if he could understand that there's nothing wrong with being 1B, there's nothing wrong with being 1B at all.
Here's what I think when it comes to that situation.
Right.
I think Kevin Durant showed the blueprint, okay? You get that money. You take that max money, right? You sign with the Celtics and they do a sign and trade because he's not turning down the money.
And there's no other team that's going to offer
And like you said, your point, the value. Yeah. So when you sign him on that super max and he's demanding that trade, now you're going to be able to get the pieces that you want for Jaylen Brown.
Yeah. Or you could trade. You could move.
Lillard.
Or you could move. You could move some other pieces and get those.
Smart.
And get that too, because Dame Lillard's name keeps being brought up, and it's just like
I was gonna wear my Dame jersey.
You got other guards that you could trade for Lillard, and it's like Lillard is also up there in age and injury wise too. So it's kind of like if you're serious about that, why would you trade the young guy who barely misses any games for the older veteran who,
That's the reluctancy.
If he's going to make it through the season.
The youth.
But there's ways that could work around that, and maybe you get Lillard, team up with them two.
Right, there you go. I think you could keep those two and still get Lillard with the Celtics roster. Look at we got the deepest roster in the league.
This day
yes
and
or no?
age.
No.
No, they don't have the deepest roster. The Nuggets.
The Nuggets.
got the deepest.
Because they're in the finals
No,
now.
they got DeAndre Jordan as like their backup.
Does he play at all?
That's my point. He don't have to because they got Jokic, bro.
They go like 9 deep.
Jokic comes out the bench,
They
and
got
who comes in?
They got Patrick Beverley
Not
as their
DeAndre.
backup. They got Ish Smith as their backup. They got Gordon. They got all type of random people on the bench you don't even know still playing the league, bro. He's on the team.
Yeah,
For real, bro. Nuggets.
Denver. You gotta look deep at their roster.
Look at their roster.
No, I know, I understand. No, I get it. I see their roster. That's actually my West Coast team. I like
And
them a
well
lot.
deserving that they're in the finals because they are the deepest team.
Yeah, but with the Celtics, they have to
All
make
right,
a
the
couple.
second
They
deepest
need
team.
to make a move. The Celtics need to make a move where you get somebody that's just like,
We need a third guy.
They need an a-hole in there. That's what they need. They need an a-hole in their huddle.
Draymond?
No.
You're gonna have to. You're gonna have to blow up that nucleus, if you want to call it that, of Brown,
No, you don't
Tatum,
do
and
that.
Smart.
Oh, Smart.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you finished. I said,
I'm sorry.
nucleus.
I'm
There's
sorry.
multiple things.
You know how I feel about my guys when you start talking about breaking them up.
I mean, alphabetical order. So,
But well, it's gonna be interesting offseason for them to see what they do. But and some of those guys need to look themselves in the mirror too, because it's kind of like lost at home in the finals. Now you lose at home again. Some point, home field is gonna be tired of y'all seeing y'all lose, getting eliminated on your home court. They'll turn on you quick, bro, over here.
Know who we didn't mention?
because it's a standard. We have very high standard.
Yeah, if you're gonna get eliminated on the road.
Know who we didn't mention? Al Horford. What we doing with him? Or what's he doing?
He's just the what? Hey, the city loves him. Franchise loves him.
We don't have many bigs, man. Who were those
Because I
bigs?
think that really hurt us a lot.
Yeah.
Al's performance. Al wasn't Al.
He old.
And I love Al, too.
NBA Finals. All right, NBA Finals. We got the Heat. We got the Nuggets. Looking at this matchup, and there's one thing you can see. It's not going to be a sweep, but it's not. It's not going to be a sweep. But there's one thing. Jokic. That's the biggest problem right there. Jokic, because Bam. They got him out of position, and the thing is, they could put Aaron Gordon on Bam, and Aaron Gordon's he's like a 6'10" 3. So there's some matchups in there for the Nuggets, but also offensively, there's some matchups for the Heat that they could take advantage of because Jokic isn't that good of a defender, and then Murray, they could do what the Lakers were doing, get him on the switch. Jimmy loves to get in that corner. They're gonna get Murray on. They're gonna try to get Murray on the switch because that's like the mismatch right there on the post. And Michael Porter Jr. He don't play no defense.
You could put Gabe Vincent on Bam's shoulders, and you still can't stop Jokic. Okay, there's nobody on that Miami team that can stop Jokic.
But he also has to play defense.
They gotta make him work. Bam has to play hard for the whole series. That's like one thing about Bam is like he disappears too much.
Why does Jokic have to play defense? Tell me that. Since you say he got to play defense, why?
I mean, if the game plan, you're gonna draw him out and make Bam attack. Bam has a skill set to be able to attack.
I mean, every basketball player has to play defense. But what I'm trying to say is this. The way Denver's going to play defense is going to be a team defense, and they're only looking at a key guy or two to stop. Okay? Miami, on the other hand, Jokic is the point center for that team.
Okay. What's he got to do playing defense?
He's not going to need to play defense.
You have to play defense in the league, bro. You have to play defense, bro. Basketball.
Team defense. He's not going to have to play individual defense one-on-one with anyone.
I mean, you don't really know what they're going to do game planning, so we'll see. I'm just saying Bam has the ability to pull him out and attack because he has the skill set.
He's not going to have to do that.
Bam? He's going to need to do that.
Right.
He's going to have to, Bam's
But Jokic's going to say, I dare you. That's what Jokic's going to say. I dare you. What?
I'm just listening to you. I'm a great listener.
Yeah, I dare you. That's what Jokic's going to say, I dare you.
But when I look at the series, they got the blue collar versus the blue chippers. So we all know who's supposed to win the series, but hopefully the Heat make it a series because they compete.
See, now you guys got me going.
One thing I like about the Nuggets is the Nuggets are not.
No. I was going back to what you said. He got to draw him out. Why is he got to draw him out? What is Bam doing for me to go out there if I'm Jokic?
Bam can hit those mid-range shots.
Has he hit it all playoffs?
Well, he was doing it against the Celtics.
He hasn't even scored 15, 16 points.
He's had a 20-point game.
All right.
I will look it up.
All
as
right,
y'all
fellas.
talk. Give me a second.
I mean,
Sweep.
Look that up.
Bring out
Sweep,
the brooms.
I don't think it's
That's
gonna be
a
a
personal-
sweep.
Denver's gonna sweep these guys.
That's opinion. I don't really care that much.
Easy.
Personally, they don't pay my bills, so you know.
Yeah, it's not
I'm
about
just saying, I'm just saying what could happen and what they should do as the Heat to try to offset their team by getting Jokic in foul trouble. Like
Yeah, get him off the court.
it's a possibility. Like you getting all worked up, like it's not gonna happen.
No,
You don't
I'm
coach
just
for-
animated. Just
you
animated.
don't coach for the Nuggets, so
Just
like,
animated.
let's see what happens.
Just
with
animated.
the games.
Just animated. I don't like the Heat. They took out my team. That's why we talk about the Heat. I want
But
to
I
get
think
them
that
out of here.
there's just some matchups there that are in favor of Denver. It's that Aaron Gordon matchup, whoever he's going, because
I just don't think.
he's been such an underrated defender this postseason. So it's like, because he could guard Bam and he could guard Jimmy.
Who gonna guard Caleb Martin?
KCP.
And then Tyler might come back. He had a chance to come
think
back game three. So
Game
who
three,
knows,
game
man?
three. Yeah.
I don't
But-
count anybody out. They all get paid to play. So you never know what can happen. Injuries
Yeah,
can
it's
happen. So
basketball.
you never know.
Yeah, it's just if
I
if
think
they
it's
don't
gonna be
have
a
the
sweep.
same, if the Nuggets have the mindset they've had round 2 in the Eastern Conference Finals match, it's gonna be tough for the Heat. But if they have the mindset that the Celtics had, it's just like, we're like the better. We got the better players or something
The
like
Nuggets
that.
been sitting
On paper,
home
with a
for
better
a
team.
week watching this team play.
They might be rusty.
I could see the Heat winning game 1 and
They
then,
might.
and then
Yeah.
the rest can.
Yeah, they might be rusty.
See, people think 9 days of rest is like you automatically come in there
So-
ready to hold.
No,
So wait,
no,
let me
okay.
finish.
No.
Ready to go on rhythm. No, you still got to get back into playing mode. And these guys been playing a couple days off. You still in the mode. So once again, they could steal game 1, and then they could smack the rest of the series.
I understand that.
That's all
I
I'm saying.
totally understand
Right,
that.
that's all I'm saying.
But at the same time, I'm looking at it like this. These dudes had a lot of time to sit back, not only rest, but to study, plan.
But they
Yeah,
never
they'll just be
played.
rusty.
Yeah.
You know
It's
how
like
it is
riding a
when-
bike when you're at that level. Like you said, ain't that what they get paid for?
But that
They get paid for that, right?
Playing real game compared to just practicing is totally different, bro. It's your wind a little bit. It's a week off, bro. It's a week off.
I know. We all play basketball. We played. We played. So we know. We know that.
You can steal a game if you're still in condition. Like, think about it. These guys get what? 2 days off? 3 days off? Compared to guys with 9 days.
If it was in Miami, I would say okay.
So I just said they could steal one.
But it's in Denver. It's in the altitude.
You know what happens when you steal something? There's a chance you could be caught.
It's a whole lot.
It's not a 100%
whole
chance
lot.
that you leave
It's
it
a
with
whole
it.
lot.
So it's a
whole lot.
50-50.
It's a whole lot. I just don't think it's gonna happen.
Hey man, never say never. But one thing we'll get a competitive series. We will get a competitive series because Miami.
Maybe.
I mean, Miami plays hard.
They're not going to
You
quit.
get rewarded for playing hard.
They're not going to quit.
I don't think they're gonna quit. That's not in their
quit.
MO.
Yeah.
I just think, like you said, they got the deepest roster in the league.
And the way it's going, like the way it's been going for Denver, it seems like this is kind of like the year for them. Just the way it's been going, like the last few years, because it's kind of like
Murray's back.
yeah, it's kind of like they felt like they should be a contender, but they kept losing. But now it's like this year it feels like they figured it out and got it all together. And
Porter's healthy.
I mean, who's really playing better than Jokic?
yeah.
Like people can't even cover that man. He's just a big, like just.
But and your third and fourth best players is Gordon and Porter Jr.
Who was gonna give you 15?
Yeah, he'll also allow you to get 20 on him too. You know, Porter Jr.
Oh yeah, he don't cover anything.
He'll play a lick of
Nah, he don't
defense.
play no D, bro.
None at all.
And he's like 6'10". All you gotta do is put a hand up.
Legit. Slide your feet a little bit, man. All right. More NBA news. We got some coaches being hired. The Sixers fired Doc Rivers and hired Nick Nurse. Interesting hire. Yeah, that's what I said. I was like,
I thought it was weird too.
yeah, very weird. I was like, yeah. I mean, when you get a championship, I guess you get a little more. You get a little more cop. But I was about to say, it kind of shows like you don't actually have to be a good coach to get a ring. Him, Budenholzer.
You got a good bounce.
Yeah.
A good bounce. Against Philly. That was kind of weird. Like you hired the one guy like you probably don't want to see walking through your franchise every day.
Yeah.
The bounce.
Right?
But you know, Philly's Philly though. Like Philly does
Yeah,
weird
they do
stuff that
weird
we don't
things, man.
understand.
That was
Not supposed to. We're from Massachusetts.
that was kind of wild. When I seen that, I was just like, why
Yeah, I was
did
like,
they do
that's
that?
like-
You replace Doc with this guy?
And yeah, and sometime in the past couple of years, his coaching strategies have been questioned, rightfully so. Like
But
some of the stuff he
you know
does.
what that
I
is?
mean,
That's inside. excuse my language,
that's
inside stuff. Like, you know, when you work for me, you know, I get you the job later down the line. One hand washes the other, basically, is what I'm saying. That's all that was, obviously. In the NBA, that happens a lot.
Yeah, but switching coaches, is that going to change their biggest issue? And their biggest issue is their star player disappearing all the time in the second round. That ain't a coaching thing. That's a personal player thing. So unless Embiid can put himself in the mindset of it, actually making a run to the finals and getting out the second round, it might just be the same thing. Just the same thing, same story, just a, you know, different goal.
Yeah, I really got much to say about Philly. You know, they have a player who was a part-time magician. I don't know.
Two of them.
Yeah, and I would say, I would compare them to Denver because, you know, the MVP status of the center. Mm-hmm. And the difference is, like you said, it's the roster. The pieces around Jokic are a lot better than the pieces that are around Embiid. And I think Embiid still needs some more pieces.
I think Embiid's still mad that they didn't re-sign Butler and they signed Tobias Harris instead of Jimmy Butler. I think he's still upset about that because he loved playing
Imagine Jimmy on that
He loved playing with Jimmy Butler. He loved it.
Imagine Jimmy on that team.
And then at that point, you kind of have to look at management like we know what Tobias Harris is. Like, why would you think it's a good idea to not sign a guy that actually plays defense for a 6'9", 6'10" guy who don't play defense?
At the time they signed Tobias, he was like an 18-point, 20-point scorer, right?
Yeah.
So I think they were just looking at the overall just scoring production compared to somebody that plays both ends of the floor.
Yeah.
Who's considered a cancer only because there are only a certain number of franchises that are traditional basketball winning coaches.
Do you hear him when he talks about Pat Riley? He calls him Coach Pat.
Yeah.
And the thing about Jimmy being the
that
cancer
right there
is,
tells you.
And the thing about Jimmy being the cancer is, like, the best players on the teams that he was on loved him, absolutely loved him. Andrew Wiggins, they were saying, like, him and Andrew Wiggins, like, had issues. But Andrew Wiggins was saying, went on interviews, like, I love playing with Jimmy Butler. Embiid, love playing with Jimmy Butler.
Jaylen Brown, this is boy. He trains with him. It's his dog.
Some people could take, like, heated interaction. Like me and him, they might think, oh, they don't like each other.
Right.
Oh, I've known this man. He's like my brother. No,
we love
my
each
whole
other.
life. So you know what I mean? Just certain things. It's just how we are.
Yeah,
so they don't understand that. So they think, oh, we get the heated practice every day. It's like, no, they're competing and they're just trying to get to the certain level, trying to push each other to the next level. Then you got, the R&B singer probably got him fired.
They said the R&B singer.
I ain't gonna lie. There's certain people I can't watch do podcasts, man. I can't watch certain athletes talk. I'm like, you serious? Like, that's just me personally. Like, to each his own.
No, I hear you, man. Some of the dudes go on them podcasts just to hate. It makes no sense. This might be a sign that the Warriors' run is coming to an end because their GM / president of basketball operations, I don't know, Bob Myers, he's stepping down, and I think he must. I blame everything on Draymond. He was probably just like,
Know what this reminds me of?
I can't deal with this no more.
It reminds me of, like, you know how when you build, like, you take a deck of cards and you build up a whole round and you take that one card away and everything just starts falling. That's
slowly.
what's going to happen right now.
Yeah.
Watch.
It's slowly. And he's done a good job building the franchise up and getting the right pieces, but it's kind of like these last couple of years, it's just been a lot happening, too much going on in there.
The offseason was a little wild for their franchise because they didn't really have any situations or stories like that, but was that punch justified now?
I'm sorry.
I feel like he seen the future. And he knew, like, you talking crazy. I know what you're going to do to play
I
out.
didn't expect that one, yo. He said, was that punch justified
I mean,
now?
I'm sure he wanted to punch him when they lost.
Remember we was talking about that on the show one time when it
I feel
happened.
like that,
It's crazy. He played that bad, huh? He deserved to get snuffed.
I'm just saying, like, for you to be that skilled, for you to do that, it's like, dude, I feel like that punch was warranted.
Hey, man.
Just came early.
They needed him to step up. But.
And he did it. And I just think,
So who's taking over for Bob Myers?
Who even knows? Mike Dunleavy? He's one of the candidates. Yes, Junior.
Oh, what to say?
Junior. I guess he's been with them. Yeah.
His pop's still alive, right?
Yeah, he's still alive.
Yeah. He's on his way out.
He's still alive.
But that's a good.
He's still there, and
He's young.
yeah.
He's a former player. He knows what it takes.
Maybe he's been evaluating.
Is he a
talent.
champion
Nah. Well, college.
You sure he didn't win on the bench?
in the league somewhere? That's what I'm saying.
Nah,
San Antonio?
Nah, he was.
I don't know where he went after.
Yeah, I just know he wanted at Duke and bounced around the NBA for a while.
I mean, he's been around the league his whole life, so, you know.
Yeah.
He might not be the best coach, but being a GM is a little easier than calling X's and O's. So all you got to do is implement pieces.
Put the team together.
Yeah, definitely. I think he works for the Hawks right now.
But you know,
is what it's saying right here.
shout out to Bob Myers though for changing the culture over there in Golden State, making it relevant again. Because Golden State had their roller coaster franchise. They had their time, but now it's just like they're just up. So
made them $1 billion franchise too. They went from 450 million net worth to over like $1 billion. From like 2012.
Moved the arena, right? They did a
which
lot
was a bad idea.
under him.
Priced out their fans though. Moved the arena, priced out their core fans.
You know what they did.
Yeah, man. That was kind of corny. They even doing it out here too.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, out here it's happening here too. The Celtics, they're pricing out their fans. I mean, you saw them tickets for Game 7.
I ain't gonna lie. I'm so happy to watch games at home because I see some of the fans that show up to these playoff games. It's like, bro, you would never go to a regular season game. And like, do you even know basketball? So I'm just like, I'd rather just be around just good, pure energy that appreciates the game and the coach, and not around these boozy, fake. You just don't
I
want to
love
be
watching games by myself, to be honest. I ain't even gonna lie to you.
I like watching the games. I like going to the games, but the way it is now, it's kind of like you're losing like those core diehard fans. Now it's just like the people that go just because it's something
entertainment.
to do. Yeah, it's something to do. Their company had extra tickets, stuff like that, or they could afford it. Like,
and that's the issue, because at some point they're gonna be begging their core fans to come back. At some point, you know what I mean? Regular season games when the franchise not where it was, where it's at the bottom of the barrel. That's where your core fans are your biggest supporters. So like they need to find a way to.
It's gonna be a while for that.
They gotta find a way to try to please both. You know what I mean?
No, I get you.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But with our young boys, it's going to be a while, and that's the going back to that. That's the reason why I think we keep Brown. He's 26.
I wouldn't get rid of them because it's like they're both young.
Yeah, and you just don't get rid of all NBA talent.
Bro.
Right, all NBA. Right.
It's a guy that just made all NBA. If he was just like doing all these. Getting all these points, but doesn't really translate to nothing. Like, no all-star team, like no NBAs or nothing like that. And you'd be like, he just scores. He doesn't really do much else. But
what if he turned the money down?
Well,
that tells you.
Brown?
Yeah. What if he turned it down? That'll tell you right there.
He's that type of person, though.
I know.
He's one that he stands on his own. He doesn't budge. I respect it, but
it's gonna be hard though.
It's a possibility though.
Possibility, but it's gonna be hard.
Because I don't think he wants to be here anymore.
I don't think I don't really know what his day-to-day life is because you hear about. I don't know where he lives for one. I don't know what part of Mass he lives in because that could definitely deter.
No, they love him. They love him where he's at. I heard.
All right, cool.
I actually know like a female that.
I'm just saying, some of these players, you live in some racist towns in this area and then push them out.
Yeah.
So like hoping that his everyday life is fine.
Yeah.
That I just feel like if they made him feel like he was more of a leader, I think he'd stay. But Tatum just like it's in the way, I feel like. And he I'm not saying he's a selfish person at all. I just feel like no different than Kobe, the Kyries. They just kind of want to be the chief, the captain of their own ship because they're old enough now.
Yeah,
like, I get it.
Say this.
So. I get
It's hard to say no. 295.
95. And then
it's hard to say no because you're not gonna get that.
The most he can get after that, I think, is like
180
something. You talking 100 and something?
Yeah.
Now, question though, do you think he's one of those people that really like worries about the money?
No.
Probably not. No.
And that's what I mean. He's one of those people. I think he'll walk away from that with his pride, thinking, you know what, I'll get something better, or I just feel better
Down
about
the line,
myself.
right.
But he strikes me as if he feels like they still have a chance to win the championship.
I mean, I think they do.
Yeah, me too.
What I really think is he's gonna sign that Supermax, give it one more go. If they can't do it, he himself will like, all right, trade me, because they're gonna have to sign Tatum the next year to the Supermax. So I think he's gonna sign this year. He's gonna get the extension now. They're gonna go for it.
And plus, it's hard. It's been hard for the Celtics to actually get talent like this, like from like a draft, like they'll get it from the draft. If it's like free, they're not getting it from free agency.
The
and
last
stuff like
one
that.
we got was Paul Pierce.
Yeah. Yeah.
What? Oh, first round or lottery?
Draft-wise, like, think about it. Like, that's like an all-star caliber, all-NBA.
Before these two? Yeah, it was Pierce.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't get that lucky.
No, we do not.
Wow, that's deep.
No,
That's
we do
deep.
not.
And when was Pierce drafted?
98?
Yeah, bro.
Oh, shit. Wow.
All our stars came in, the trades and stuff. Like, yeah.
Wow, I didn't even realize that. That's crazy.
Look at Smart is the longest tenured
Smart
Celtic right
too.
now. He's
You
the
drafted
longest tenured
Smart.
Celtic. He's
That's why, like, Paul Pierce is like it bothers me when like they give tributes to Paul Pierce and they get smacked by 30, or whenever Paul Pierce is in the building.
Yeah, you seen him in Rondo after Game 7?
Yeah, we lost.
I know.
We never win when Paul be supporting us. Can somebody get that man some luck? Like, come on, man. He's a staple in the Celtics organization.
Paul.
Like,
Facts.
and he's fun time. He's fun time.
Yeah, Paul's Paul.
Cool guy too.
He
All
have to pay
right.
for anything in Boston ever.
Yeah. Man, Scottie Pippen, this guy.
Scottie Pippen tripping.
Tripping. That's an
He
understatement.
must have been sipping.
Nah,
You know, he got that new liquor he trying to promote.
you know what this
at it is.
You know what that's all about, right? We all know what this is about, right?
Like, come on, Scotty. We're tired of you coming on here
Is it
saying
called sipping like Pippen?
that's.
Yo,
That's a good day. Sipping like Pippen.
he said,
But
he specifically said Michael Jordan is not the best player ever, right?
he said Michael Jordan was a horrible player before I got there and watching him. He said nobody wanted to play with him. He was selfish and blah, 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 blah. And I'm just,
I wouldn't say horrible. I could agree. I could understand, maybe not want to play with him. Maybe but they might seem as selfish. The man had like 50-something points. I can understand that, but like some of the things my thing is, people just put the clip of him putting his shoe up. You know what I mean? We had the 10s on saying come back. So how you guys say he was awful? And you guys couldn't win without each other. So like, what's the issue?
and the thing is, when Pippen wasn't there, Jordan was like still putting up these crazy numbers. When Jordan left, Pippen took a backseat to Tony Kukoc.
Mm-hmm.
He got mad that one game, and that kind of ruined his whole like how people look at Pippen when he didn't want to go in like,
For the shot.
And you can't be saying, like, my thing with Pippen, you can't be saying all this stuff when you're the guy who refused to go back in the game because a player wasn't called for you. You're also the guy who sat down because of migraines, allegedly. That's what it was. He's saying you had blurred vision in a playoff game against a team that's been beating you up for the last couple years. It just looks like you kind of, he could have had migraine or not,
Tucked his tail.
but you already played the game. You were already in the game. You were playing the game, and then all of a sudden you had to sit the rest of the game. You can't go.
I mean, all this sounds like to me is just he's just angry.
He's just mad.
spiteful.
Yeah.
He got a lot of.
He's
built-up
mad at
frustration.
Mike and his whole family.
Yeah, he's
I mean,
definitely
he
mad
mad.
at his son.
Mad at the wrong
He has
people.
reason to be mad at Mike's son, I believe.
Now, what reason he got?
Right? He ain't got.
Mike's son got a good jump shot.
Because ain't he his godfather, his uncle or something?
Nah, they probably close, you know what I mean? But like, what's her
Yeah,
name?
real
ain't
close
related.
now.
What's her name ain't related to him? She could have blocked that. Yao Mika came around the corner. You know what I mean? All types of things could have happened. Like, that man jump shot pure.
And somebody said it like all those years, like Jordan and Phil Jackson would say whenever they talk about the Bulls of Jordan, they'd always be like, these championships don't happen without Scottie Pippen. And it was just like, I think they said that just to coddle Pippen because, he got like a fragile personality or something like that.
I
And
think
it's kind of showing now.
Yeah,
Like,
but I think it's true though.
It's true, but it kind of like they went overboard to just give him his love because it's
He's
kind
top
of like,
75, right?
yeah, but yeah, because now it seems like you kind of had to go overboard because he's a little,
He is a little sensitive though.
a little bit.
If I'm Scotty, I don't even care.
Right.
I wouldn't have been so bent out of shape about the last dance. I'm living my life. I'm rich. I got bread. Like, I ain't worried about none of this. Like, I
don't think he's so rich. And it exposed him.
Oh,
he
you're
lost
right,
a lot
you're
of
right.
money
Yeah,
too.
you're right.
He lost a lot of money.
But he got that farm though.
Yeah, I mean, he ain't broke. My thing is,
not broke.
Once you reach a certain level, like, why you even care about what certain people are saying about you? Like, it don't even matter. I'm in rooms that you guys
I ain't even
won't
close
even
to
think
there.
about what they even look like, have a clue what idea at all. So, like, I wouldn't even care about what people are talking about.
I ain't even close to what they make, and I don't care what people talk about. So I don't get it either.
So, I don't.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Scotty, you stop talking. Don't sell your
Right?
stuff. Stop
Leave
talking.
Mike alone,
Right?
dog. Mike, come on. It's Mike.
Mike over there purchasing $3 million cars.
What?
Yeah, he bought a car that was like 3.5 million.
Was it a
It was
Benz?
like one of them one-of-one cars.
I'm still
A
caught
Benz?
up on
Like that Benz with the lights?
It was like a fast
That's just
car.
dope. You see?
Oh,
you see
nice.
that?
I'm still
keep
caught
saying
up on this dude's
that's
hair,
H.I. I apologize,
Having,
Pedro.
like, no, my bad. I didn't hear what you said.
You can edit that out. Keep saying.
I was stuck on this dude's midlife crisis.
Oh my gosh.
My bad, Pedro.
Oh, good. Other NBA news, who is this? Adrian Griffin, former player. He got a job. He got a new head coaching job. The Bucks are gonna announce him to be the next head coach. I'm glad they're just giving some of these guys a chance. Some of these former players giving them a first time
I think
chance.
that's a great hire.
Great hire
for the Bucks.
Great hire. Great situation. No, you're not putting him with a franchise that got to be rebuilt. So sometimes.
Former champions.
Yeah, sometimes when you put these coaches in these situations, year 2 or 3 they fire them. Like just look at the Silas, Paul Silas' son. He got fired
yeah,
in Houston.
Rockets,
Yeah, he got a raw deal and stuff like that. But this one and Giannis he seems like a very coachable player. Like
And
he embraces
Adrian, man,
everything.
he's an NBA guy. NBA. His son plays in the NBA. Like he's just been around the league. He played for the Celtics
too.
Played for the Celtics.
Son's in the D League. His daughter plays somewhere. Played D1 somewhere. Like he's pro. Like I always like Adrian Griffin. So like not a problem. He's never been like an issue.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. He's a pro's pro.
So
Yep.
it's
Yeah.
Pro's pro.
And probably in all those years being an assistant, he probably took a lot of information in. It's like so you getting two perspectives with
Really
just
good.
seeing the game as a player and then from all your years as assistant. So
I like the Bucks ownership too. One of the owners just sold. You know who's part of that group? Aaron Rodgers.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yep. Aaron Rodgers owns a piece of the Bucks. He just bought into that to the investment group. I
Good
like
for him.
that. Yeah. And then you see what I'm saying? That's the type of move that's made when you have guys like that in ownership and front offices. Now they're gonna, you know what? Let's go get a guy that used to play this game.
Yeah. Yes. Shoot. We
franchise just
To do that. I
Yeah,
try
we
try
it
it
didn't
out. Like,
Yep.
They have so much knowledge. These guys, some of these coaches have to learn knowledge. These guys already know.
They lived it.
yeah.
I don't get it.
I don't get it, but yeah, good. Congratulations to him.
And you notice, right? The most successful teams, their coaches played in the league. Steve Kerr. How many you have? You really just have 4, right?
Something like that, yeah.
Or, Spo didn't play in the league, but Pat Riley
He
did.
came up.
Nah, Spo was like a kid. He did every job.
But right, he did right. He started off watching film.
He did every job for the organization. So like he
Came up.
he worked his way up
Yeah,
there.
so kudos to him. And a black head coach.
Yeah, of course.
And what's his
He's
name
number
played
one.
for Seton Hall, didn't he?
Who?
Coach for Malone. I think coach for the Nuggets.
Probably.
I think he played for Seton Hall or something like that. Seen a picture
Yeah.
of him.
Mike Malone, he's really, I like him too. Really good coach.
Yeah, he got his just due too.
I like him.
Yeah. So congratulations to Adrian Griffin on that. Let's go to the NFL where DeAndre Hopkins was released last week. Cardinals saved themselves some money, but you lose a good receiver who's 30, still got some years left.
Yeah. You think he's top 10 still, T?
Yeah.
Yeah, he just makes
10?
plays.
Yeah.
He still makes plays.
Top
10?
10? Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Who got better hands than him?
And you could throw
Better
throw
hands than him?
Better hands.
And you can throw
I
whatever
didn't say
quarterback back
faster.
there.
Said better hands.
You could throw any quarterback behind center and he'll still be productive too.
I'm trying to think too.
He got the paws, bro.
Yeah.
He got talents.
Yeah.
He catches everything. He just might not be the biggest guy, the fastest guy, but he catches everything.
Quickly,
I was
before
going to
we
say maybe
continue,
Odell, but.
What's their academy, Mike Malone?
Oh, wow.
Where you go to school? College?
1 second,
I thought it was Seton Hall.
probably.
Another mascot.
Yes, it was.
Good job. Good job,
No,
T.
Loyola. He went to
Loyola.
Seton Hall Prep.
Ah, okay.
High school.
All right. So that's what
yeah.
Somebody put Seton Hall University or
Yeah,
Seton Hall
yeah,
online.
yeah.
I'm like, oh, all right, Seton Hall Prep. All right, cool.
Loyola, Maryland.
You from New York or Jersey?
Queens.
Queens?
New York.
That blows my mind how they got. I mean, what actually is Seton Hall? Y'all know off the top of your head? Like, is it like a?
I don't. It's like it's part of like the Catholic.
No, I mean like how Seton Hall's in Jersey.
Yeah.
Like they got one like the Seton Hall Prep in New York. Like what actually does Seton Hall mean?
Oh,
that's what I mean. Like, you know what I mean? Where does this come from when it's in two
Right. It's a
different-
Catholic. It's a Catholic thing.
Oh, I think it's a Catholic school.
No. It's a
My
Catholic.
fault.
It's a Catholic term. Like there's something happened
Gotcha.
when it was first. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It goes back to Rome.
But yeah, back to DeAndre Hopkins. There should be some teams really looking to sign him. I know the Cowboys were interested. I think the Ravens were interested. The Patriots are interested.
I know where
it's a
he's
matter
going.
of like I think the money and stuff like that.
It ain't the money.
It's trying to get a ring. Where you think he gonna go?
KC.
KC? Oh yeah, KC.
It ain't here.
Yeah.
No, he ain't coming here.
Yeah.
I wish.
It's
My
cold.
heart wants him to come here, but
I think KC or Baltimore.
I ain't gonna lie.
Because Baltimore,
Baltimore
they're
too.
kind of making an emphasis on
Baltimore too.
getting the receivers so Lamar could play a whole season without him having a.
Yeah, he's better off going to Casey.
Bro,
Yeah, it's just you never
I
know
mean,
what's gonna happen with Lamar, and then it's like,
And you know Mahomes gonna get you the rob.
yeah, Lamar running is gonna take away some of your catches, and they ain't about
Hey
that.
man, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he's at KC.
He going to KC.
Yeah, hey man.
He wants
Why
a
not?
ring.
I know he's not
And-
coming here.
And he'd probably be number one receiver too.
Right.
You get there, he'd be a number one receiver.
Yep.
Yeah, they're gonna work that Mahomes magic.
That's
And
easy.
sign him.
That's an easy signing.
Yeah, I mean, it's true.
And they was asking him, right? They was giving him like a list of teams. I was watching something, and like he wouldn't say a word, but he would give facial expressions. And they said the Patriots. He was like, they said Pittsburgh. He was like, they said KC. He was like,
I mean,
they said Atlanta. He was like, he was
Atlanta.
easy even considering Atlanta.
Atlanta don't got a quarterback.
Is he from Atlanta?
No, he's from South Carolina.
Okay.
It's right there.
I just figured he ain't trying to go somewhere that's
Yeah, but
too cold, but Kansas City,
That's
cold,
Atlanta.
bro.
If you're from South Carolina, that's Atlanta. Bro. That's Atlanta, bro.
But Atlanta, I mean, they got a guy named Daniel Ritter or something as their
Yeah, but he's young. And he's gonna give Hopkins the ball.
Listen, man.
Who else they got in Atlanta to throw to?
What happened? What's his name?
Who?
Mariota.
I think they released him.
They let him go. He's
got rid of him.
no, somebody signed him. He's
He got signed again, but I think they released him.
where the fuck signed?
He had an alright.
The Colts.
To get rid.
Oh,
I think the
He
Colts. signed
deserved to get released though. Like
hey man, it's a dirty game.
he won games and stuff. Like
him. Let him go.
All right, let's get some quick boxing update for y'all.
Yes.
All right, as I got my boxing note from Pedro, boxing legend and double undisputed world champion Clarissa Guat.
The GOAT. The GWOT. The GWOT. The GWOT.
Goat. That's terrible.
that's the female goat.
Just say goat.
Yo, she's serious,
Just say
bro.
goat.
If you don't know who she
set
is.
to challenge the top-ranked middleweight contender Marichala La Diva
Greatest woman of all
Cornejo.
time. Look how many belts she got, bro.
Right. This is taking place this weekend, actually, Saturday, June 3rd, at Little Caesars Arena. That's in Vegas, right? Little
Yes,
Caesars Arena?
Caesars, Vegas.
No,
What?
Detroit.
Detroit. Oh, okay, yeah. Little Caesars Arena. Yeah, that's Detroit.
They have a Caesars, a little.
Little Caesars Arena.
Oh, that's in
Caesars
Detroit.
Arena. That's Detroit.
Oh, okay,
That's
okay.
Detroit.
That
baby.
cheap ass pizza.
All right, let me know about these two. Let me know about them.
All
I know
right,
you
so
got some experience.
well, Clarissa Shields, she's considered the greatest woman boxer of all time. She's from Detroit. Well, actually, she's actually from the area Floyd Mayweather's from in Michigan. She's undefeated, never been beat. She's not really a knockout artist. You know, she's an extremely good boxer. She can mix it up. She can fight. I guess the woman she was supposed to fight before, you know, Gabriel, she didn't pass a PED test. She failed the test. So now she's being replaced with, you know, a Latina. And you know, the Latinas and the Latino men, they always get it in the boxing ring. It's not going to be an easy go. But I think Shields will win.
They're gonna get it in, but she ain't getting the win.
No. Definitely not against Shields. Definitely not.
Typical trend that's been going on nowadays.
Definitely not. But there's been a lot of good boxing. And if you guys don't know, the greatest boxing match, I think, in the last 10 years has been agreed to. Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence.
Oh yeah, we talked about that last week.
I wasn't here.
Oh yeah, you good. Give your opinion on that.
There you
Give your
go.
opinion.
Okay, I want to give my opinion. I don't know
sir.
what you guys said. I'm interested. I'm actually going to go back
We
in.
didn't talk about that. We talked about the other fight.
We ain't talking about these two yet? Look at these.
Crawford and Spence.
No, we talked about these dudes.
Tank and Garcia.
Nah, the other fight in between the Haney and.
Oh, Haney and Loma. Oh, that was another good one. I wish I was here for that one. That was another good
Oh,
one.
you just said Errol Spence just need to stay away from vehicles.
Yeah, you guys just.
So with this fight, the reason that makes this fight so interesting is because they're both undefeated. Terrence Crawford has more knockouts than Errol does fights. Mm-hmm. But Errol's considered the weight bully they used to call him because he's big. He's bigger than everybody else at welterweight. The boogeyman, the weight bully.
He's the pay-per-view guy too, though.
The pay-per-view money, right? Crawford's not really a pay-per-view. He doesn't really sell his fights.
Has he been on pay-per-view?
Huh?
Has he been?
It's on. Yeah, he's been on pay-per-view.
I know a lot of his fights were on ESPN and stuff like that, so that's why I mean.
Right,
like,
ESPN pay-per-view.
Nah, like straight ESPN.
No, they ESPN Plus too.
Yeah, but I mean like fights like maybe.
Yeah, no, they have done that. You're right, they
Yeah,
have,
all right.
and that's because his contract when he was with Top Rank, he was getting a set amount of money. He was getting $3 million a fight, regardless of how much the fight made. You know what I'm saying? Now he's a free agent. With this next fight, he's about to get what? Him and Errol getting $10 million apiece guaranteed, and then they're getting back end money. But as far as the ring fight goes, it's so interesting because one guy is a fundamentally straight sound southpaw. He's gonna come at you. He's gonna hit you with body shots. He's coming straight at you. The other guy, he can switch. He's from southpaw to orthodox. He can fight. He can box. He can defend. But he's smaller. So we don't know, man. We don't know. I'm going with the boxer though.
Crawford.
Terrence Crawford. Terrence Bud Crawford.
I'm going with Errol Spence, man.
Yeah, just to go against me.
I'm
But it's
going
okay.
for entertainment.
What you mean?
I'm going for entertainment.
That's okay. So here's what me and T gonna do, or here's what I'm proposing. He's going for Errol. I'm going for TC. Loser on screen has to give the other one 25 straight push-ups.
Oh, that's
25 straight.
That's nothing.
Do that in my sleep, bro.
All right, so we'll see.
I'll win and I'll give you 25 straight push-ups, bro.
Look at these
Yeah,
guys
25 push-ups,
talking to a guy. I haven't been in the gym in a minute, so that would be entertaining to see. That's how
I
confident.
give you 50.
That's how confident I am in TC.
All right. All right. That's our little boxing update. Red Sox update. They lost last night. They tried to make a comeback, but they lost. When I checked the score, it was 8-1, and then
Listen.
next thing I know, they lost.
They're at the bottom of the barrel in our
28 and
division,
6,
right?
26, yeah.
And then I looked and seen the Central Division, and if we was in the Central, we'd be in first place.
I mean, we do have one of the best divisions.
How does that make sense?
Might be one of the toughest divisions every year, bro.
Yeah.
So it's like,
They're 11 games behind. Well, it says 9.5 back, but the Tampa Bay is 39 and 18. Baltimore's 35 and 20, and the Yankees are 34 and 23.
but you want to know how it happens? I mean, it happens because it's the regular season, but in the playoffs, that's when they get weeded out. And
Yeah,
the best teams win.
yeah. Well, let's hope they get in the playoffs.
Who?
The Red Sox.
We'll talk about that, in the summertime.
Are you really talking about the playoffs for the Red Sox right now?
Well, I mean,
They can turn around,
that's why I said let's
That's the
hope.
story of the Red Sox franchise, bro. They always got to try to turn around every other year.
Yeah.
Like-
They'll make a push at the end, get all the fans excited. And
It don't look good.
It doesn't. Just remember, if you see a bunch of angry folks outside, that's
And I love the Red Sox too.
Listen,
I
the
love
Red
all my
Sox-
Boston teams.
the
but
Red Sox
jeez,
determined this whole state's mood.
I know.
They determined the mood, so. Yeah.
Yo, did you see how quiet it was when the Celtics lost that night? It was so quiet outside, bro.
I didn't want to go outside, so I don't even know. I'm not
Yo,
sure I didn't go
it was-
outside.
I was
it
still
was
in Arizona.
dead.
I was still in Arizona.
Oh, you was this,
I was
yo,
still
it
in
was,
Arizona.
it was dead, bro. Nobody was out.
I don't blame them.
See?
Especially the people that paid all that money.
I'm not gonna lie, I had mixed feelings about that series. I only root for two teams, and they both in the series. But I was happy I didn't have to hear it from these. I told you so.
Oh,
Like all these Bostonians, with stupid accents trying to tell me Celtics in 7. Like I don't want to hear that. Like I'm sorry, I get it. You love your franchise, but let's not defy logic here.
Oh, man.
I was rooting for him too. I'm not a dummy though. Like, come on.
Oh, man. All right, NHL, we got the Stanley Cup, Vegas versus Florida. Florida Panthers, 8 seed. I don't know what seed Vegas is, but the Vegas Knights are back in the Stanley Cup. It's good to be in Vegas and be in the finals.
Haven't they been in like the last 3 years?
They've been in a couple. They just haven't won.
You wanna know why? Because regardless, you win or lose, you still gonna booze. You're gonna party.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
Vegas all night.
Yeah, man.
You can't feel bad in Vegas.
Yeah.
You crying in Vegas, bro.
You got problems.
Yeah, you got issues.
It's kind of crazy too. You got an 8 seed Miami Heat, and then you got a 8 seed Florida Panthers. I think they.
And they beat the Bruins too, right?
They don't remind
They
us.
own Boston.
No, don't remind
They
us.
own Boston. Florida just came out here. And
I know.
Here's with the
Heat,
hurricane.
too.
Man, them
Oh, they
non-reading.
talking big dookie down
Them,
there.
with the hurricane.
Them
I know they
non-reading
are.
mofos.
That's our new rival state, I think. That's our new rival state. It ain't New York no more. It's Florida.
Yeah, tell me
We
about
rival
it.
New York. Well, we pay no mind to them.
Right at all.
Yankees.
Lastly,
But that's like us holding on to the Celtics, bro.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
all right, high school sports
The
update.
Lakers, you mean? The Lakers.
Yeah.
Yeah, this,
Celtics for us, Yankees for.
Oh,
New York.
yeah. Oh,
We
yeah.
hold
Oh,
on
that's
to
what you. Oh,
legacy
yeah.
and
Yeah.
history.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah.
Lastly, city track meet happened yesterday. St. Mary's 4x400 relay team. They won it. Lynn Tech girls won it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, there was. Yeah, there was.
Yeah, Hoagie. Congratulations, Hoagie. Hoagie's my dude.
Yo, them people at St. Mary's fast. I heard they got some fast people out there running like 6-something miles and stuff like.
Yeah, they got
I work
some
with a guy that
guys.
coaches for them.
They got some guys, and then they got one of the high jumpers. Anthony, the basketball player. Anthony, he was catch and shoot guy.
Okay.
For St. Mary's?
Yeah, he did. I think he won first place in the high jump.
Okay. That's
yeah,
dope. That's
yeah,
dope.
he's going to college for track.
Oh, I know. Anthony from Revere.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
word?
Yeah, he's going to college for track.
That's dope.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
that was a good
him and my
turnout.
son grew up together. They're good friends. I know Anthony. I know you talking.
Yeah, I was there yesterday. It was a good turnout. Them kids had fun. I talked to them. They all had fun. It was just cool having all the 5 high schools there competing and stuff like that. So,
So, who's the fastest inland?
I don't know.
Me.
I'll
What
tell
you mean
I
you
can
was
tell
there?
you that I didn't stay there.
Oh, okay.
I didn't stay for the 100. I was there for like
Okay.
30 minutes, and then
I want to know who the fastest is.
Yeah, I mean,
Throw me
I'll
out
let
there.
you. I'll let you know next week.
Oh, you don't have
let
it right now?
No, I do. I have it somewhere, but I'll let you know.
All right.
I'll let you know.
Shout out to the fastest in Lynn. Keep it up.
Shout out to
Keep it up.
Oh man, we was gonna do some other stuff here, but we just gonna scratch those things that I had at the end, and yeah, we've come to the end of our program here today. Hope
Yeah,
y'all
man.
enjoyed it.
Thank you, fellas.
sir.
I appreciate hanging out with you guys all the time, especially if we can talk
It's a pleasure.
sports.
Yeah,
You know
definitely.
what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely. Make sure you check us out. LCTV After the Whistle, Instagram, linntv.org, Lynn Community Television, YouTube, Mr. Burton 23.
And I'll see you around.
Sure. Yeah. Congratulations, everybody graduating. All the
yeah.
Oh,
graduations.
congratulations, everyone. Go ahead.
My uncle birthday the 1st.
Oh, yeah.
My great grandmother Vera the 3rd. She turns 96. So happy birthday to y'all. The rest of y'all, I'll get y'all next week.
Congratulations to the class of 2023, especially Stefan Patrick. I love you, boy. And congratulations on your commitment to your school.
Yeah, Lil Mookie's birthday's it's coming up too. He turns 4. Happy birthday to that little angry child. It's not my child. It's my brother's kid. And shout out to the
Pedro
guy.
Crazy.
Shout out to the guy that makes this all
Yes,
work.
sir, P.
Pedro.
Right.
My guy.
We'll
Peace,
see you
Pete.
all next week. And we're getting close to our sabbatical when we just